That's the wrong one.
All right, it's 4 o'clock. Let's call our meeting to order. Stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We called this meeting earlier due to the possibility of some inclement weather later, so we're having our meeting a little bit earlier, just so it's on the record. All right, can I get a motion to accept the minutes of February 20th?
So move.
Second.
All those, any additions or corrections? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Get a motion to accept the financial report and payment of the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Any amendments or thing?
No, not tonight.
Okay. Okay, Lewis.
Okay, the first item I have is a request from the Elkton Alliance for a waiver of alcoholic beverage restrictions for the use of the upstairs activity room on March 21st, 2013 for the 2013 Citizen of the Year banquet. I would recommend that the board grant such a waiver to the Elkton Alliance for that date.
Okay, do I have a motion to grant the waiver of alcohol beverages?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. You want to do the Elkton thing, Lewis?
Yes,
Okay,
because we have Jeremy here.
yeah.
And I think we have some other commitments, if we could. Okay, the next item I have is the agreement between the town of Elkton and the Elkton Police Fraternal Order Police Lodge 24. Jeremy Fuller is the president of the FOP, and the FOP has looked at the agreement as it was presented to the town, and of course, obviously, the town also. The only changes in that agreement are obviously the extension of the agreement for 4 years rather than the current 3-year period. And the CPIU, the Consumer Price Index, was changed. The Consolidated Metropolitan Statistical Area was changed to Philadelphia, Wilmington, Atlantic City, because Cecil County is actually in that one, not in the Baltimore-Washington region. That was changed. There are 2 adjustments for paid wages in this agreement. One will be for 2014, and one will be for 2016, right? Those are the 2 adjustments. Other than that, there's no substantial changes to this agreement. I would recommend the board approve the agreement with the FOP.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the FOP collective bargaining agreement?
I will make a motion to approve the FOP collective bargaining agreement.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, I have it. You want to sign? Go sign. Once you have a seat.
Chief, you want to take that out?
Yeah,
I've already got it marked with a sign.
It's on the back, I think. You can get a picture of this? Yeah. The camera? Yeah.
Let me get the camera.
You guys can get a copy of one, maybe a copy of it. You can actually picture. Actually, yeah. The chief, I guess, the date too.
And I jumped up.
My iPhone. I'll send it to you.
Knowing that you got to go someplace, let me get
I'll sleep until you start
I know you're like night shift.
They just snowing in the Southern Port County.
They don't look on the internet.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's a matter of record now when you get to.
Michelle, we can add them in later.
Good. Forgot. Congratulatory handshake. The bridge between the FOP and the town.
So there was no bridge this year. That was nice.
Do you need to stand up and shake hands? You can hug, but that's a little bit, I think, too much. Not too big to hug.
Aw,
Good. Thank you, Jeremy.
Sure they get a copy.
I'd like to thank all of you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I need our copy. That's their copy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Do you want to put it in envelopes so you don't get wet?
Yeah. You want to put that on the spot car? Thing? That out. Thanks, Jeremy. Thank you, guys. Gotta take Elkton hour.
Now, we just signed that, chief, make sure I see some more patrol around through Elkton. I haven't seen it, but that's neither here nor there, but go on.
Did you get this?
The next item I have is the bank loan. This is a loan by resolution R113. Want me to read it into the record?
No, I think we all pretty much know what it's for.
Okay. The resolution that authorizes the town to purchase money from the PNC Bank, $296,000 for a 5-year period at a tax-exempt fixed interest rate of 2.25%. Be paid semi-annually for 5 years, right?
That's correct.
I recommend that the town pursue this loan with PNC. They're going to be here on Friday for the loan documents and sign.
All right, do I have a motion to adopt the resolution R1 2013, the bank loan?
so moved.
Any further discussion?
Yes, when the loan was sought, and certainly PNC is a good bank, I deal with it myself, were there other entities contacted?
Yeah, Columbia Bank.
That was the only other?
Yeah, I contacted banks we currently have a relationship with, which is Columbia and PNC Bank, and there was, the rate, I think is a very good rate, in part because we have an account there and they can automatically debit our account when it comes time to pay the debt service, so there's no bill to be sent to, a little savings on their part, which in theory is given to us with more competitive rates, but they'd only give rates from the two banks we currently have a relationship with.
I don't think we do better, 2.25.
Now, is that the rule of thumb doing future business with the town, that you basically deal with the two you deal with, and certainly there's nothing wrong with it, I do the same, but, you know, for the purpose of being a town, what we are, you don't contact the rest that might be in a given area.
I can certainly expand that, but...
I did not say that, I understand, I just, what has been your policy?
Well, this is the first loan I've been involved with since I've been here. We don't have any loans. We currently have a loan with PNC Bank. That's consolidation of the purchase and acquisition of the building that we're sitting in right now. I don't know that that's a policy. That was where my starting point was.
I'm fine.
And I can certainly expand that. I assume this time next year, or pretty close to this time next year, we'll be looking to finance whatever is agreed to be budgeted for the new cars for next year.
Or
any fee
Rec
equipment,
center.
not just cars,
Yeah.
or, well, yeah, that will be a different type of borrowing, but.
That's fine, thanks.
My comment I had, based on just same thing Givens, Commissioner Givens said, I thought we had talked about being fair to the community by offering a letter or something to let them know that we was doing this. And I thought it was a process that we would either bid out if it came to the best rate. Now, even though you made that comment, the banks that we have a relationship with, that's not a good way of doing policy in the future. That's all I'm going to state.
Certainly, the future months.
So that's all my comment.
Joe, you can go ahead on that.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor.
You had it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next, I have the PICO licensing agreement. The town is in the planning and engineering phase of the Warner Road sanitary force main. I'm sure you've seen enough emails on it to know what we're doing. In order for, the town has a 20-foot easement, we got it in 1985 from Columbia Power Company for the existing force main, but when the construction is taking place, there will be additional space necessary for equipment and materials to be laid down during the course of this construction. Very large project, over 9,000 linear feet of force main will be put in. Anyway, in order for PICO to grant space for the town to operate during the course of this construction, they require a license agreement. The license agreement is presented to the board tonight for approval. It's been reviewed by council. There was some elements in it that weren't necessarily favorable to the town. I think Mr. Wilson did his best to carve those out of the agreement, at least to the extent that PICO would allow. But we're down to the point where we have to accept this agreement, or we have no other option at this time. So I would recommend that the board approve the licensing agreement with PICO Energy.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the PICO license agreement?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I might add before, we've already voted on it, but we managed to save a couple grand in the licensing fee.
Yeah, 1,500 instead of 3,500.
Yeah.
Court said-
And we worked out some of the problems with the insurance. And I'm convinced, I've known Mr. Palmer for a long time, and I think they probably use this license agreement all over wherever they do business. And I don't foresee any problem with the town. We're in and out on this thing, we're not crossing over the transmission lines. So, anyway.
The last item I have is Resolution R2, 2013. This resolution declares certain property to be surplus. Specifically, a 1999 Honda Accord was a vehicle used for operations in the Elkton Police Department. That's 158,000 miles on it. Needs about $3,000 worth of repairs. The police department has already obtained another vehicle to replace this vehicle, so we need to sell it. I can make arrangements with Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers to deliver the vehicle and have it sold, but I need to have the board authorize the disposal of the property. I think the mayor talked to the fire company, but they weren't interested in this particular vehicle.
I'd so move with a motion.
Second?
Okay, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's all I have.
Okay. Not any old business. Mary Jo, anything?
Old business, kind of old, kind of new, but I'll go with it old. The light at North and Main Street, Lewis, it's been flashing now for I don't know how long, and this happened at North and High. We had to say something. Could you please see when they're going to shut that off?
Is it
Actually,
fit?
I thought they would have done it by now.
Yeah, but I know it happened the same. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything, Charlie?
I have none.
Anything, Hicks?
I guess this would be old business, but I kind of went through the minutes and all. Was wondering what, when we were going to get the annual report from the Alliance.
I thought December. Is that when we?
Well, we didn't get one this
Oh, you
December.
didn't request. There was no request, so I didn't.
Oh.
Did you
I
want
thought that-
another report to them to come in for a workshop or a meeting, or?
Oh no, I thought it was established that it would be done every year on an annual basis,
Okay.
and
Well,
in December.
end of December. Okay.
Oh, no, whenever it was convenient for you, but I
Well,
think it
it's not,
came up.
I mean, I
with-
just need to tell the board when you would like it. So if you're ready,
Well, we're probably ready if you're ready.
yeah, well, you know, we can do it.
Right, yeah, I just thought it would be an annual thing.
So is that written or you want somebody in person?
Written, it would be a presentation to the board, just like it was before.
Once before. I think.
But Nelson did it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think the last one though was with Roger Owens
Oh,
as
Roger
our
Roger
president.
Owens.
That's
And
right.
when was the last one? Because Roger
It was
was
Roger.
It
June.
was Roger.
I think it was Roger, yeah.
Because Roger Owens started in June, took Nelson's place. So,
Check you on the minutes.
yeah, I could check, because I know it was Roger Owens and Larry Kraus, who's our vice chair presently. So, but that's not a problem.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, that's all.
Yes, new business, I guess, basically, I've got the, I think I don't know if it's new, but Harley Williams, while I was at Bobby Joe's viewing, saw me and asked me about the Williams, about the Warburton property, and he said, I told him basically what Lewis was saying in his email. I said, but it's up to the board, but he said, well, can I make up some packets and give it to the board? And I said, sure, I'll give it to him. And so you got a packet there, and he's so willing, if anybody's interested in looking at the house. I do know, he says they are quite anxious to get rid of the house. I think they got a $200,000 reverse mortgage coming due. And I think they would like to see, before they have to pay that, they'd like to try and settle on this property if all possible. So I don't know if you're still interested, you want to go out there and look at it again, or make a decision, or what?
I
I'll
had
let you
just,
know.
last week, asked Jean, I know she sent it a while ago, but it was actually when Lewis sent out the email. I'd asked Jean, and she was away, but she's back now, to let us know what monies are available right now for this, because I think it came to maybe being about $170,000 short, and she was going to look into, when we were up there, the
Parks and Rec thing?
well, not only the Parks and Rec, because of the scenic, the greenways. She was going to look into that. So this could possibly be maybe 80% funded by grants. So I did ask Jean I think it was last Friday when she got back, to look into that.
But grants would be a long period of time.
Well, I think she already has money put away
Thanks.
of everything but $170,000, I think.
The forest money? that
The
she said
forest money.
I know, I said, but if you wanted to balance the payment with the grants, it would be a long period of time before we would know whether we could, you have to apply for a grant, has to go through a process during.
Well, unless
It'd be
they
quite a
would-
while, it isn't something you can do.
Oh, well, I understand that, but still I wondered, because she had certain areas where the money was already there that she could pull from. So I asked her to just split that up and send us all an email so we could see that.
I just mentioned something to her quickly today, and she's possibly said that unless they were to hold the mortgage, and as the forest money came in,
For the
She could-
for the rest of
for the
it.
rest of it, she could pay it down on that,
Well, it's
too.
less than the 200,000 they'd have to do.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't take much. I mean,
You probably want to formulate a plan on how it would be used for the public, because there's absolutely no facilities up there to accommodate the public. And that would be a serious expense, just to have parking in that area. So, I mean, it's not like, let's commit to this purchase, and then when you get it, you're going to be sitting on this property. Because you'd have to bar the public from getting up there, there's absolutely no way to deal with it. I mean, nowhere to park except around
that'd
the
be the
house.
only, yeah, that'd be the only problem if we got it, and we
It's
find the money to,
She want to get stuck in the mud,
use
like
it.
you did.
that's the downside to it.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. If we were
Nice
to,
residence, but it's not a public place.
right.
if we were to say, be able to acquire that property, because it does back up to our park land, and possibly do some walking paths just to get started, can we rent the house that's there? Or the town wouldn't entertain that?
I don't know if you want to get in a landlord business or not.
I'm sorry?
We rent it to outside.
Yes.
Use it.
Because they had it rented at one time, and
Oh, you mean lease it out to someone?
lease it
or
out
something.
for income.
Oh. I don't know. Be something new, something different.
I mean, I don't know if it's possible, but it would be able to generate some income, maybe even,
Yeah, but then you gotta keep in mind that when you do a lease agreement, like we have lease agreements, the rate costs and all that, you're obligated to do repairs if things break down and everything.
Right,
So
right,
somebody
I
called up my
understand.
heater, it's
Right,
like, cost
right.
$4,000.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's like a $4,000 heater, and you just lost all your money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not really, the government's not really a land, you know.
Put it either one.
Well, but with that said, we could also make an agreement that we will not cover that, and they will cover it.
So about renting it long-term, or just like?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I think
right.
what Commissioner Duboski brought up was let's look outside the
I
box.
guess you could make a lease agreement where everything they do, they gotta pay for.
Well,
I'm not sure
I'll
if
tell
anybody
you,
does it.
someone very, very dear to me has a lease agreement with her house in Nashville, and I would have never signed it because they're paying for a lot of things.
Yeah, that's it. But once you assign the, lease that property, you have to define the boundaries, of course.
Right.
And the public couldn't go there anymore. So, because you couldn't say, well, the public can come onto your property and park their car and walk around. You eliminate that thing, and if you're gonna do that, why even have it? I mean, the whole point, purpose of having it is to have it for the public.
Well, it's like you
Not to
said, you
create- get
suggested
into
that
the rental business, huh?
you suggested that we give it some thought and come up with a plan, so.
I think the biggest plan besides the purchase part of it is how you want to use it, because very rarely will government go into a project that is going to have a use for the public without a plan in hand that says, hey, this is where the public's going to be, this is where they're going to park, this is where they go to the bathroom, this ADA facilities that are available. If we have walking paths and somebody has a heart attack and the police get there, do they have a way of getting there? Does the ambulance service extend to the public? All these things have to be answered, because the public will expect a government to have all those plans in hand and contingencies covered. Right now, most of the parks that we have are accessible, you can get to them and all that kind of stuff. But
Right.
that has some real challenges up there, because it's like a nice little tuck-away house, but, you know, 50 people want to go up there, and where do they go? I mean,
I have to make a wider
the roads are
driveway.
so narrow, you can't even pass 2 cars. I mean, you know. And constructing a road would be, because it's like, you know, the banks are like this, you know.
Well, it would be, I mean, I know it's thinking outside the box, but Fairhill Nature Center, the
Yeah,
way
I've
they
seen it.
have that house sitting in there and then just in the past, but they do have a road, you know, not a, I think it's a dirt road
Well, they have a lot of dirt roads up
to
there.
go back there, but that is so similar to that property. That's what's so appealing about it. I mean, because the Fairhill Nature Center is very popular for schools and everything else to go to. And I mentioned to Jean if it was something the 4-H would be interested to do closer here than only Fair Hill, to be able to do something in that house and there's just so many
Right.
things that could be done there. It's just, but I understand what you're saying, Louis, also, so, for planning purposes.
The next question is, would Public Works be responsible additionally for maintenance of that house and homes and property? They're stretched to the limit now. You have to hire, you just couldn't take the same group you have now, and then they have to maintain that. You saw that house. That
Well, I
house
haven't
is
seen it,
bad.
we haven't seen inside of it, we don't, just the
We
outside.
don't need to see inside. I think Steve and I walked around real close and looked at it. Oh my God! I mean, geez, I could see a bundle of money going into that place. It's exterior, you know, it's sticking up the exterior, and they have all these homemade little walls, retaining walls around it, made out of tin that's rusting away to hold the dirt from caving in and everything. No wonder they want to get rid of it. I can tell you.
Well, whatever you guys want to do, I would let him know. You'd ask me to let him know what we decide on. If you want to take another tour of it again, or whatever, or not, or he just needs to know something. You know. I can let him know if you all decide. Just let me know, and I'll get back to him if you want later. That's fine. The other thing I had was, I gave you a copy of Senate Bill 523. MML was really trying to get that through this year. That has to do with the putting our newspaper, of course, now talking to Lewis, he says really it doesn't affect us per se because any legal notices go into the paper, the developer pays us, but they're looking for support to get this passed throughout the state, that towns that might have to pay for their legal notices wouldn't have to do that. They could just put it on their websites on the internet now. And MML was supportive of it, and that's one of the things we talked about when I was at the mayor's conference. One of the big things they were really trying to push. I hope they get that through. So, yes, we give everybody a copy, so I gave you a copy, and you want to look at it online, and the delegates are sponsoring it. They asked if you wanted to support this, you could call them and just let them know that you're in support of it.
Yeah, it makes sense, because most papers are pretty much going to the internet as well anyway.
Yeah.
Not completely, but mostly, so makes sense.
All right, that's all I had. Mary Jo,
I don't have anything else.
you on anything? Charlie, anything?
No.
Mr. Hicks, anything?
I had talked with Richard Brooks a little bit further earlier today, and I'm going to get with him more about the MOUs, my idea about the MOUs for the different towns or cities that we may want to look into. But what I wanted to do was talk with him further, get some more pluses and minuses, and then present it to you guys for your consideration. So that's it.
Okay. Anyone else? Nothing else? Okay, hearing nothing else, then do I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor? This meeting is adjourned.